Afternoon, everybody. Easter Monday, 2020. It was a nice day. It's lovely and sunny. It's good to get outside. More than once today. Morning walk with the dog early, and then back up here this afternoon. Rex, come. Come on, good boy. Yes, I'm only a supposed one. Less rubbish about only out once a day. There's nothing actually. I actually looked at the legal guidelines, which apparently have been written up and discussed and put forward by MPs with no vote. So this legislation, and it's 6 months apparently that they can apply these fines for having the wrong kind of shopping, for gatherings, for travel that they say is non-essential. Leads me back to one of the reasons why I'm making the video. Took my mother-in-law to the train station, Edinburgh Waverley, and we all went in, including the kids, wife. Couldn't leave the kids in the house, obviously. Nobody we can leave them with, so I had to take them. She was going back down to London. She had a ticket ticket's been booked for a while. She's been here for 3 weeks. She came at the start with all this craziness. We got her up. She's got to go back down. She's a nursery nurse, so she works in a nursery. But anyway, she's probably had enough of us after 3 weeks, and she wanted a bit of her own space. And we've got quite a few things to do, so it wasn't always practical for her to be here any longer. But we were getting funny looks at the station and questioned, asking her, where are you going, what are you doing? They're saying that this train was only for essential travel, was only for key workers. So, and they're saying all this stuff's been on the news, that this is the workers in the station, that we've publicised this, it's only key workers. Well, it's not on their website. She wasn't refused on the train, but they were saying the police could get called if you don't declare what you're doing, and you can get fined this £30 and potentially taken off the train. Now the train was empty. It was like 12 or 15 car train down to London, and there was virtually nobody on it. But that was a little bit one of these, what's going on? It's just turned into a police state here. Edinburgh was dead quiet. There's nobody. It's just unbelievably quiet. Probably never ever as quiet, even at 3 o'clock in the morning, which is nice for driving in on the roads. But it's an extremely worrying situation, especially as it's come. If you look at what's coming out about the actual death rate and how actually bad this is, it's nowhere near as bad as this computer model predicted. And they're looking like, instead of this 3% death rate, it might be as low as between 0.1 and 0.5, approximately the same as the flu, and that most people will have had it and never had any symptoms or very mild symptoms. And this whole thing has been built around the government believing this computer model and whatever else is going on behind the scenes to bring in this crazy lockdown. Potentially on the back of some advice from the World Health Organization as well, who are puppets for Bill Gates at the end of the day, who wants everybody to be vaccinated, funnily enough. He wants to have a programme, an ID 2020 programme, where everybody gets vaccinated for whatever they want, or is forced to get vaccinated, and it's recorded on a blockchain, public ledger basically, and anybody can have access to it, any country. So you can get refused entry to a country because you haven't had your COVID-19 vaccine, even though you might be immune to it anyway because you've got the antibodies. So everybody paints Bill Gates as this great philanthropist. There's a lot more going on than you think, if that's what you think. He is something else. And funnily enough, he resigned from Microsoft just before this started. I don't know if you knew anything. Share price went down considerably, didn't he? So, and he was involved in 6 weeks before the outbreak. He was involved in a simulation which was looking at the pandemic simulation, where they ran news, they ran numbers, they ran emergency responses, just 6 weeks before all this kicked off. A little bit of a coincidence there. But, I'm out in the peace, quiet, countryside, roaming about, so social distancing is easy to... but I was walking down here the other day, and I'm walking down as normally, walking on the side of the road, and there's people walking into the woods, going down a path, well wide enough for 2 or 3 people, and people are actually going into the woods to get away from you. They're that paranoid. Clearly, fear. This is massively fear-driven, and what you think manifests. So if you're scared of something, it'll probably happen. So if you're scared you're going to get it, you probably will. If you're scared you're going to die, you probably will. And as well, it's proven that what you think manifests itself in the body. When we're living in fear and stress from all the bad stuff that's going on, the bad stuff that everybody believes, the bad stuff that they're fed to keep them under control, and that's what the governments are doing, and that's what this is getting used as a control method. We were only supposed to use fear when, the fear response was only supposed to come in when we were running away from a saber-toothed tiger. So it'd come in, boom, fight or flight, and you'd run away. Then that'd go away, go back to normal. And if you're fighting a virus at the same time, which you could be, your immune system's fighting a virus, and then the fear response comes in, it'll divert energy away to the fear response, so that you get maximum. You can run away from your saber-toothed tiger, don't get eaten. But that doesn't happen. People are living in fear all the time now, so their immune systems are compromised because they're living in fear. So they're less able to fight viruses. And with the state of the country being mostly overweight and unfit, not mostly overweight, mostly obese, and unfit, and having various conditions, type 2 diabetes, heart conditions, blah blah blah, then obviously, and they're running in fear all the time, then any small thing could kill them. Any little infection can kill them. And this outbreak just seems to be a little bit crazy. I know I've probably said this a few times, but it is, and everybody's giving it that. Well, everybody apart from we won't hear this on the news, but the people that know are saying house prices are going to crash. Potentially, you've got massive unemployment, looking at 20 to 30% unemployment. I mean, come on, we've never had that before, and that's what it could be. So it's 20% of people unemployed, 20% of people losing their homes. It's absolutely crazy, and we're moving towards a very difficult period. So what can you do about it? Well, just don't believe the hype. Take your own path. Learn. Don't be a victim. Massive. So many people are victims. Poor me syndrome. Oh, poor me. Government. Oh, I need to help me. Oh, poor me. That it's really actually it's sad. I feel for them that they can't get out this cycle of this wheel of being a victim. And expecting to be somebody else to help them and bail them out. So I know, how do you change? Well, I don't know, individuals have got to change for themselves. They can't be forced to change. But I think if the information was presented, I mean, and there are, if the news had more educational and informative about diet, the realities of diet, not what the government says, realities of exercise, the realities of mental health, the realities of this outbreak, that there are ways of negating it, even stopping it. There are supplements out there, there are herbal supplements, there are lifestyle choices that can stop all this. Nobody's ever said on the news, oh, type 2 diabetes, oh, you can cure that. yeah, not cure it with, we don't cure things in the West. We just treat symptoms. That's all we do, is treat symptoms and keep the big pharmaceutical companies running. But if you do a low carb diet, potentially just eat meat, carnivore, your diabetes will go away. If you go keto or keto carnivore, your diabetes will go, you'll lose weight, you'll become healthier, you won't need the drugs anymore. But they don't want to tell you that. That's never ever on the news. It's so basic. This is why YouTube is such a great resource. There's a lot of rubbish on there. There's a lot of people that are not people that are, they're just at it to make money. They want to sell your course, they want you to buy this, but there's a lot of good information. There's a lot of good channels that are well respected, and it's quite easy to find them. To do a bit of research and find the people with the up-to-date information. Even though YouTube's censored to somewhat with certain things getting taken down from London Real, I don't agree with that. And they say they cut some crypto channels last year, or in the beginning of the year. They took some people's videos down and said it was the algorithm and whatnot, which it might have been. But this whole thing with the London Real censorship is ridiculous, because they've had their Brian Rose and London Real's page is gone now from LinkedIn. So Microsoft owned, Bill Gates doesn't know what I'm talking about, and the whole video was around somebody talking about the virus not being as real as everybody thinks, and then the vaccination side of things, that he thinks is a big con essentially. It's unnecessary. So yeah, he got his LinkedIn and pages taken down, as well as he was banned on Facebook, and he's still on Twitter apparently, but it's not. That's more for short 2 or 3 pieces, not really video content. So I know Ofcom's, funnily enough, Ofcom's investigating them as well, but they are controlled. They're a regulating body, but they've got interests in 5G, and obviously there's people behind the scenes pulling strings and influencing, as is in most things. And so I'm just going to knock off for just now. Hope everybody has a nice evening. Lovely and sunny in Scotland, no rain for once, can't complain. So, have a good one, take care.